1 year ago, a family in Gaza, a Palestinian family, tried to flee. They tried to flee Gaza City for safety as Israeli forces closed in. In their car were 4 kids and 2 adults. Now, almost all of them were slaughtered by the Israeli army as they tried to flee. One of the 2 survivors, 15-year-old Layla, rang the Palestine Red Crescent, begging for help. You heard her shot to death while she was on the call. All that remained, surrounded by the bloodied corpses of her family, was 5-year-old little girl Hind, herself bleeding to death from her wounds. A terrified Hind then rang the Red Crescent, begging for help.
ميتين؟ وهم هلأ معك بالسيارة؟ انت هلأ وين متخبي هلأ؟ وين انت هلأ محمية؟
بالسيارة.
جوا السيارة انت صح؟ مش برا السيارة.
صح.
طيب خليكي يا عمري بالسيارة، أنا رح أتمني فاتح الخط معاكي، أتمني أحكي معك، ما بدي أسكر التليفون، تمام؟
الدبابة جنبية.
الدبابة وين؟
جنبية.
2 paramedics were sent to save her. Their movements were coordinated with the Israeli army. As they arrived, the Israeli army blew them up. Almost nothing remained of their corpses. Days later, the decomposing bodies of Hind and her family were found in that car. Now, crucially, an investigation by Forensic Architecture, a team of experts who've been doing a huge amount of work looking at the actual facts of what's happened to Gaza, they revealed the truth, that the tank was 13 to 23 meters away when it opened fire on that car, a car full of 4 terrified little children and their 2 guardians, that there were at least 335 bullet holes observable on the body of that car. This was in broad daylight. The idea that one of the most sophisticated militaries on earth did not know who was in that car before they opened fire on them is a nonsense, a clear, obvious, insulting nonsense. This family amongst so many other families, this family was deliberately killed. And this one hideous incident underlines the horror of Israel's genocidal onslaught against Gaza. Now, Israel's defenders, yes, they want us to be distracted with deranged nonsense. Well, whatever lies they come up with, we'll use as an opportunity to tell the truth, the full depraved truth about one of the great horrors of our age and the moral bankruptcy of its defenders. 1 year on, we must never forget Hind Rajab. She epitomizes what has happened to the people of Gaza. A giggling, happy, smiley little 5-year-old girl, just like any other 5-year-old, who just wanted a happy life with so much ahead of her, butchered in the most horrifying circumstances, deliberately, by an Israeli military armed to the teeth by Western governments. And I would note that investigation into Hind Rajab was barely covered at all in the entire Western media. Why? And again, it's not something we should indulge too often, let's put it that way. That we should have to indulge the fact that Palestinian life is simply not treated as having any worth. But of course, imagine that had been an Israeli family and they'd been slaughtered in those circumstances by Palestinian militants. And we had a 5-year-old Israeli girl begging the hospital to come and help her, the paramedics to come and help her, ringing the emergency services, and those paramedics were then slaughtered as they came to rescue her. That would be seen as testament to the utter barbarism of those Palestinian militants. But 1 year on, Hind Rajab, largely ignored by the Western media, by Western politicians, and instead we are having to listen to unhinged nonsense and lies about condoms being sent to Gaza. Well, the truth is the truth, and we'll keep speaking the truth.